call in. And what you want to do is go to I'm sorry, easy way to do this is go to download the app Live and Direct Marketplace, and you'll see a host of stations. You want to click on Sador Radio. We'll be right back for some more conversation. Our hot topic tonight is mental illness. Mr. C, you had something to say? You want to say hello?
Hello.
That's it?
Welcome to Let's Talk to Carolyn and Mr. C, of course.
We'll be back, y'all.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. If you got something to say, say it.
They got to call in and say it.
Okay.
We'll be back, y'all. We'll be back. Queen Latifah coming up. Hey, everybody. Let me get y'all started. Thanks for tuning in, Adam. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. Why is this not working now? Okay, here we go. Come on in, everybody. Tonight's topic is on mental illness. And everybody got a little bit crazy. We're going to talk about some people's crazies. Come into my house.
Keep doing that.
Don't make me wait.
Is that a habit or something you just
Come
do?
into my house. What you talking about?
What you do? Like I said, you always get on that phone, or you sit right there and you're in front of the phone, or where you, it's like you just got to dance and start singing and say, hey, instead of you talking, they seeing you dancing, hey.
They hear the music.
Okay, yeah, okay. And you are.
All right, I'm just getting some people in here because we do have a hot topic tonight. And some announcements. Got some announcements, y'all. Some activities that's going on. Don't make me wait. Come to my house. Yes, Mr. Sir. I need this.
What?
This. The white box. Yeah, give it to me from that angle. Come into my house. Here we go. I got it right here. I'm gonna give them time to do that. If they have any questions, I'm gonna give them a specific time where they can call on. So then they can call on for the hours. Let me get them set up. Hey, everybody. Hi, Isaiah. Hi, Angela. Oh, shit. Hi, Ardell. Thanks for the heart, love. Much appreciated. Hi, Facebook. How y'all doing? Hi, my Nigerian friend. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Talk of Carolyn on Sadora Radio, the station that plays more than just music. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, it's kind of like the echo.
Okay, what about now? You all right?
Testing, testing.
It's all right. Say hi, Mr. C.
Hi, Mr. C.
No, I mean repeat after me. Say hi to the listening audience. You got jokes tonight.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk to Carol. And
So,
of course, Carol is the host, and I'm just the background. I'm the co-host, Mr. C. Just the voice.
How you doing today?
I'm here.
You're here.
Yes,
How was your day today?
I'm here.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what tonight's topic is?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Going crazy.
Going crazy?
Mm-hmm.
That's not tonight's topic.
Mental.
Mental what?
Mental health.
Mental illness.
Yeah.
That's what tonight's topic is.
Okay.
Types of mental illnesses.
I got one too.
Well, you know what? Once I go through this, you're going to figure out where you fit in them 5 major categories.
All of them.
No, not all of them. All right, listen. Thank you. All right, listen. This is, if you are listening on the radio, this is what I want you to do. Is that better? What about now? Okay. This is.
Can I hear you?
Well, I know they can hear me, but I don't know if my radio audience can hear me.
That's what I'm asking. Asking if they can hear you.
How they going to answer me, Mr. C?
Phone call?
No.
Okay, text.
No. How they going to text me?
Like they doing on Facebook.
That's different.
Okay.
No. All right. This is what I want y'all to do. Tonight's hot topic is on mental illness. So I'm going to tell you what mental illness consists of, how it is diagnosed, the types of mental illness, the categories of mental illness, what you can do for self-care if you find you or someone else is living with the different types of mental illness. You have the categories. There's 6 major categories, and under those 6 major categories is a host of disorders. One of them might fit you or somebody you know. I'm also going to talk about the different treatment options that are out there for mental illness. Everybody has a little bit of crazy. Why are you looking at me when I say that?
Because I am.
All right. Everybody has a little bit of crazy in them somewhere. But there are others who are medically diagnosed with a mental illness disorder. And I'm going to say this. Mental illness is diagnosed when there is an ongoing and increasing signs and symptoms that begin to cause continued stress. You all right? Begin to cause continued stress or have an impact on a person's quality of life and their ability to function. I'm going to give you an example. People that have anxiety attacks. That is, believe it or not, that's a mental disorder. People who suffer with anxiety have anxiety attacks or panic attacks. That is a mental disorder. And people live with that every day. Some take medication for it. So moving right along, you got something you want to say?
Not right now.
Okay. I haven't got to your crazy part yet, right?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. This is what I want y'all to do. Get a pen and paper. If you is in the listening audience and you're on Sadora Radio, get an ink pen and a piece of paper, or a pen and a piece of paper. I'm going to tell you types of different categories and types of mental disorders. What I want you to do is when you hear it, write it down. Either it fits you.
I want a piece of paper.
You want a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Okay. Either it fits you or someone you know. So you're going to make 2 columns. One for you and one for somebody you know. That's the listening audience that's listening on Sador Radio. Now for Facebook, this is what I want you to do. If I mention, here we go with this again. If I mention a disorder that you have or someone you know have, I want you to just type in me. There's going to be, if I can get through all the information that I want to give you tonight, hopefully I can. Hi, Four Twinkles. Hopefully I can get through all this information that I want to give you tonight. If not, it might be a part 2. I'm going to try to keep it at just one session. So here are the classes of mental illness. I'm going to give you the class, and then I'm going to talk about the top 5 most common ones. You have neurodevelopment disorders. These are people who have a learning disability. It could be ADHD, attention deficit hyper disorder. Hyper means they just up there. Oh, she said fill more butts. Okay. I'm gonna tell y'all what's so funny. I have someone that's in Facebook called Four Twinkles. She typed in somebody she know named Filma Butts who has this disorder, ADHD. Now I know who she's talking about.
But it was no
It is what it is.
Okay.
Okay, the second disorder is schizophrenia and psychotic disorders. Now, that would be people who suffer with delusions and they have disoriented thinking patterns. They are separated from reality. Mr. C, what you doing?
I'm just doing what you asked to do. Get a piece of paper and write down me or them.
Okay, that's what you.
Yes.
Okay, how many you got for them?
For them?
Just one?
One.
How many you got for you?
None.
Oh, okay. All right.
Put beside it, no.
Okay, all right. Next is, and y'all familiar with this, and I'm gonna say that y'all familiar with this one because I've heard other people talk about people who have this bipolar disorder. Now, this type of disorder includes alternating episodes of mania. They have excessive periods of activity. Their energy and excitement is up to the roof, but they also suffer with depression. Depression is a mental illness disorder as well. So, hey Jackie, how you doing? Next one is depressive disorders. These are people who always feel sadness, happiness. They're very, very emotional individuals. Who was that for? All right, let me mind my business. All right.
Pretty much. Stay in your lane. I'm driving.
Okay, keep driving. So, an example with this would be major depressive disorder and premenstrual dysphoric disorder. This can only happen with us. Premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And some women may say, oh, I'm suffering through PMS. Eric, of course, attention. Daddy, okay. Daddy disorder. All right. Next is anxiety disorders. Now, remember I said earlier, these people that have anxiety disorders, they suffer with panic attacks. They have nightmares. They have obsessive thoughts of fear of leaving the house. These individuals are literally afraid to leave their house.
What you call that?
Anxiety disorders. You know somebody that fits that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Isaiah says all his friends, all your friends suffer with anxiety disorders. Isaiah, just type yes or no, or depressive disorder, or a combination of both. You know what? I need another pen. Next is OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, but also it has other disorders related to it. And these are people that have when they work, they constantly doing something until it's perfected. You have people that are OCD about hygiene. You have people that are OCD about touching items that have germs. Like I have a colleague who if she has on long sleeves and she wants to open that door over there, she'll pull her sleeves down, put the sleeves over her hand to open the door. No matter what door it is, that's what she does every time. She has OCD really, really bad. Another category is trauma, agoraphobia. Okay. Trauma and stressor related disorders. This is that's a category, but the disorder is PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, for trauma and stress related disorders. Then you have I can never say this word. I couldn't even say this in college. Dissociative disorders. This is when the person itself that suffers with this type of order, they are not within the identity of themselves. They disassociate themselves from everything and everybody. Got any questions? Something you want to say? Yes, that's why Isaiah, you stupid. Okay. For Twinkle Cheek says she does that. Okay. Why do they do this? Why do people think they can just interrupt my live stream like that?
They're trying to call you.
Yeah, why would you do that?
They're trying to call in.
No, they're not. They know not to call in on my personal phone. No, no. I didn't get that number out the
Well,
night.
they're giving the radio station.
No, no. You don't get it.
No.
These are people that are trying to call me and ask me some questions. Now is not the time because it has nothing to do with what's going on right now. Right now, we're talking about mental illness.
Okay, and them people.
These people that's not calling
right
is not, no.
Oh, they're calling for something else.
They're calling for something else. I ain't got time for that. Next is somatic symptom and related disorders. Now, a person with one of these orders may have physical symptoms with no clear medical cause. The disorder, are you ready for this? Is associated with distress and impairment. Distress and mental impairment. Why are you giving me that look?
Because I'm getting ready to hear what you're going to say after that.
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know.
These individuals are classified as hypochondriacs. You know somebody like that? That's a hypochondriac?
Mm-hmm.
No, seriously, do you?
Yes, I do.
You know somebody that's hypochondriac?
Mm-hmm.
How do they act?
Weird.
What's weird? Like, make me see.
They're anxious.
Okay.
They're jumpy.
Is this one of your friends?
I'm not going to go there, okay?
I just asked, was it one of your friends?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, all right. Then since I know it's one of your friends, I'm going to tell you something, and you'll have an option on how you want to help this friend. Because people that suffer with mental illnesses, families need to be involved with them.
But they hardly do. They just overlook it.
Yeah, but the families And you know what? I'll get to that and tell y'all why later. But anyway, yeah, people have feeding and eating disorders. These are people that are anorexic or bulimia. Either they're eating too much or they're eating too little. And the bulimia people, they eat, they purge, eat, purge. That's the format with them. Because they got this thing of how they look.
What is purge?
Vomiting.
Okay. Why did you just say that?
Well, because the cleaner name is purge, Mr. C.
I'm sorry, we really being clean.
Well, yeah, for right now.
Hey, eat and throw up.
You know what? Moving on. Elimination disorders. These are people who are adults and they still have accidents in bed, like they urinate in bed on themselves.
Yes.
Or
what is that?
Elimination disorder.
What's the abbreviation for that?
There's no abbreviation. It's just called elimination disorder.
Okay.
Sleep-wake disorders. These are people who have problems sleeping. Insomnia. Now, with some people that suffer with insomnia, there is a all-natural pill, over-the-counter drug that you can take, and I believe it's melatonin. It's all natural. I have to put this disclaimer out there since I done said this, and my disclaimer is this. I am a licensed massage therapist with a whole lot of other medical and spa credentials. I am not, and I'm going to repeat this, I am not an MD, medical doctor, DO, doctor of osteopathic medicine, psychiatrist, or psychologist. I am neither one of those, but I am a medical, clinical, practicing massage therapist. Why is you doing that to me, Mr. C?
Who?
You.
What am I doing?
So I had to put that disclaimer out there just in case, because I never know who's watching at all. Next is, get this, y'all. Sexual dysfunctions is a mental illness disorder. Sexual dysfunctions is a mental disorder. These are people who have premature ejaculations in guys and female orgasmic disorder. I don't want to say nymphomania, because a nymph is not put into this category just yet. Four Twinkle Cheeks said, Jackson, who Peter Bed? That's people who have elimination disorders. People who they can be asleep and they have an accident in the bed.
It's called a wet dream.
It's not called a wet dream. Don't start your shit. What do you mean? Don't start your crap, okay? That's not what it's called.
It's called the damn wet dream.
No.
You peed in a bed.
It's not a wet dream. A wet dream is different from having an accident in the bed.
What's the difference?
It's different.
The bed is wet.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean it's a wet dream. A wet dream for you guys is what? Premature ejaculation, because y'all were dreaming about some female?
No.
Well, what is it?
Peeing in the bed.
No, that's different.
No, the bed is soaked.
Whatever.
Excuse me, did you ever have that dream that you were standing in right there in front of the bathtub? I mean, in front of the bathroom.
I never had that dream. I know what you talk about. I never had that
and then
dream.
all of a sudden you couldn't stop peeing.
No.
And then at one moment,
boys had that dream?
Yeah.
And grown men had that dream, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then
I don't have that dream.
Okay, then women pee in the bed, what is that?
It's still the same thing.
It's a wet dream.
Okay. The medical term, Mr. C, is called elimination disorder.
Okay, and what was that? You eliminated what? The pee?
Feces or urine.
Oh,
I was
no,
trying.
no.
I was trying to
Oh,
stay away
God,
from that,
no.
but that's what it is.
Okay, now if you poop in the bed,
Whoa,
something.
whoa. You asked. I'm just providing facts
I
here.
said wet dream. I ain't said a shitty wet dream.
You know what? I can't with you right now. I gotta keep it moving. Gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria, it refers to stress that accompanies a person's stated desire to be another gender.
A gender dysphoria.
Gender dysphoria. I'm gonna give you an example. Gender dysphoria is this: you have males who want to be females, females who want to be males.
Okay.
That's the best way I can explain it.
Okay.
Gender dysphoria. They want to be another sex.
That's a high tech word.
What, gender dysphoria?
Yeah.
What would you call it?
Okay.
Not tonight. I'm being good tonight. Not tonight with you. Next is you really pushing buttons here. Next is disruptive impulse control conduct disorders. These disorders include problems with emotional and behavioral self-control. Some people lose it. I'm gonna give you an example.
Me.
No.
Just
I'm gonna give you an example. Kleptomania.
Ooh.
That's an example. Disruptive impulse control conduct disorder. A kleptomania does what? Steal.
Mm.
They have the impulse to always take something. They have the impulse to always steal. That's what that disorder is called, other than kleptomania. Substance-related and addictive disorders. These are people who are addicted to drugs and alcohol. That's the addiction part. The impulse part is the gambling, the pyromania. Pyromania is people who like to start fires. They're fire starters. Those are the pyro means fire, mania means maniac. And these are people that like to start fires, pyromania.
Okay, they call arsonists, aren't they? And get over it.
And yeah. He really is trying me tonight, and I'm trying to behave here. Everybody knows that my mouth goes to 100 real quick, and you really pushing buttons because it's still at 0.
Really?
Yeah, my mouth is still at 0.
Give me.
So for the impulse, gamblers, kleptomaniacs, and the pyromania. Pyromania is people who like to start fires.
Arsonists.
Yes, Mr. C, arsonist. He's so right though. Four Twinkle Cheeks said that you was right.
Thank you.
He says thank you for Twinkle Cheeks Jackson.
Who's for? Put that.
That's her name. Her name is Four Twinkle Cheeks Jackson.
Can you say that 5 times fast?
No, I ain't got time. I'm trying to get you this right name. Okay. Neurocognitive disorders is another. These disorders affect people's ability to think and reason. I'm going to say this. Anytime you hear the word cognitive, think this. Brain, think, reason, understand.
Carolyn?
What?
Cognitive. A lot of people more or less can't pronounce it, let alone spell it. What did you call it? Cognitive?
No, Mr. C. It's called cognitive.
Cognitive. What is that?
That means the ability to think and reason. Like you have, this is getting off topic, but I'm going to make this real quick. Your brain, right? You have a left and right hemisphere of your brain. The thinking, reasoning, and thought process is on the left side, I believe. Right. Not sure if I gotta look it up. I think it's on the left side. But all that comes under cognitive. One word. Thinking, ability to reason what you're thinking and having an understanding. That's cognitive thoughts, cognitive thinking. One word means all that stuff.
And in ghetto terms, what does it mean?
I don't freaking know because I'm liking you right now because I'm trying to be good. And this is a serious topic. And you keep coming back, what's the ghetto name for it? I don't freaking know.
No, okay, but then there's a lot of people listening.
And they know ghetto term. I got it, but
Okay,
that's how come I broke the word down.
Yeah, but you broke it down. The word, what is the meaning
Stop
of
tapping
that?
the table. I told you what it means.
Okay, yo, bro, hold on.
Don't do the deep voice with me.
Okay, then don't get pushy here.
Don't start with me.
I
gotta move on because I see what you're trying to take me. Not doing it with you. I'm moving on. I'm not doing it with you tonight.
Okay.
Next is personality disorders.
I got that.
Hey, Tara. Personality disorder involves a lasting pattern of emotional instability and an unhealthy behavior that causes problems in life and in relationships. That is called personality disorder.
I'm down with that.
Mental illness, Tara, that's what's up tonight. Mental illness.
And we going off.
Next is, I got two more, and I hope y'all wrote these down. Next is paraphiliac disorder. These disorders include sexual interest that causes personal distress or impairment or causes potential or actual harm to another person. These people would be your pedophiles. They have pedophiles is listed as having
child predators.
Right, they're listed.
Well, predator, rapists, really.
Can I finish this sentence, please?
Okay.
Pedophiles is listed as being paraphiliac, having that disorder. They have a sexual interest.
Thank you. That's paraphilia.
Yeah, that's what it's
called.
Paraphiliac disorder.
Okay.
They have a sexual interest. An example of that is pedophiles.
Children.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last one, y'all. Then I'm moving on to treatment options. Now, anything that I have not said according to, I don't want to say that because I just confuse y'all. Anything that I have not said falls under other mental illnesses or other mental disorders. And they could be due to a medical condition, a life event, or any type of situation that happens in a person's environment. Those three things can cause anybody to have any one of these disorders based on their medical condition, their life situation, their living environment, or a traumatic event that actually happened to them. And if they have not been treated or they didn't have no support, they didn't receive no medical attention, sometimes it can lead to death or suicide. So I will be back. You have something you want to add before I move on to the second and third part?
No.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Time. Give me time.
Now.
Okay. I'll be back in a few minutes, y'all. And I'm going to have y'all.
20 minutes to 9.
20 minutes to 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can't hear it. I can't hear it.
Oh, I say 1840.
No, I really can't hear it.
No, I'm sorry. 2040. I don't know what happened.
Hold on, Facebook. I'll get my music right. Hey Jackie, thanks for tuning in. So listen up. If there are any disorders that I say and you know someone that has a disorder, or even if you have the disorder, write it down. If you think you have it, write it down. You have something to say?
Not yet.
So now we like off the air.
We're not off the air. Mike is still on and the people on the Facebook are listening.
Well, yeah, they can listen.
Okay, then we're
What
not
you
off
write
the air.
down? You got a whole lot of notes. What you write down on your paper?
Everything
Can I
that
see it?
you thought, yeah.
You know people. Really? Wow. I bet I can make out some of these people. There you go. There's your pen. We got more.
Should I continue?
We got more.
You know, something that's like writing a list about things you like and things you don't like about people or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like questions and it's like,
Well, you got a lot of stuff written down in that piece of paper, Mr. C.
yeah, I'm going at it.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, topic is interesting. But we're talking about mental people, not mentally disturbed people.
Everybody got a little bit of disturbance.
Not the way the crazy shit is going on. Excuse my French.
Everybody got a little bit crazy.
Not the way it's going. It's like they shoot people. Like, that's
We're not talking about them. We're talking about people who have
but
been
that's
diagnosed.
but that is mental, isn't it? Isn't that mental? And what category does that fit under?
Hold on. We're back from break. Hold on, Mr. C. We're back from break. You're listening to Let's Talk with Carolyn on Sador Radio, the station that plays morning music. Shoot your question at me. Go ahead.
What category does the mental thing fall under when these people are going out here shooting all over everything? I mean, all over the country. They movies, parks, the workplace. I mean, come on, this is happening damn near every month.
Okay, that's not the topic. That's not the topic.
It's mental.
Who said it was mental?
That's crazy as hell, isn't it?
But according to you.
According to you, that's not mentally unbalanced or disturbed.
Wait a minute. Did you listen when I said what mental illness was? I started off with what is
but
mental
you're using
illness?
them damn fancy words. I
I'm
mean,
not. Wait a minute, Mr.
baby,
C.
you was using them fancy words.
Stop calling me baby.
I mean, I didn't mean it slipped. Okay, I'm going off. I'm mental. I mean, you was using them fancy words. It's like come down. It's like speak.
I did.
Yeah, you did use some fancy words.
Listen, I have to say what the disorder is. Once I said what the disorder is, I broke it down and gave examples of the disorder in layman terms.
Really? You went layman?
I went layman.
Then how come I couldn't understand? I'm layman.
I don't know why you couldn't understand. Maybe you got one of these goddamn disorders.
I'm gonna write that down.
This what's that called? Disorder lane?
You know what? I gotta keep moving. Now, if you or someone you know has any of the disorders, I want this. What do you want? What?
Your mic is off, turn it down.
Oh, turn down the mic.
Hmm.
Why don't you just tell me that?
Because I
Okay.
didn't want to.
All right. I want to go over particularly 5. The 5, here we go. Now, the reason why I want to go over these 5, I gave y'all like 20, maybe 25. But I want to focus on the most common 5 out of all of them. And out of all of them I gave you, I'm going to say this. The top 5 is this: anxiety disorder, mood disorders, schizophrenia,
Wait a minute. Hold on.
anxiety disorder, schizophrenia, and psychotic disorders. Schizophrenia and psychotic it goes together.
Okay, number 3.
Mood disorders. Number 4 is dementia. Put a star next to dementia. Put a star next to that. And the last is eating disorders. Okay? Now, I'm going to briefly go over these top 5. Hi, Tyrone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to briefly go over these top 5, but I'm going to only focus on one of them especially. Okay. Mood disorders is going to be people who have depression. Oh, shoot. People who have depression and bipolar disorder. That affects 1 in 10 adults. Okay. That affects 1 in 10 adults. The schizophrenia and the bipolar disorder, those disorders affect the brain. Affects the brain, meaning the thinking, reasoning, and understanding, and also the emotions. These individuals, schizophrenic people, you may hear them, if you know of anybody who is schizophrenic, you may hear them say they hear voices in your head. They have hallucinations, they have delusions, and their reasoning is not normal. They have abnormal reasoning. Dementia. Dementia is a crippling mental illness where you would see someone who has this, you literally see them over time, literally lose their mind. And I'm going to go into depth about dementia. Dementia is the mental illness. A type of mental illness is Alzheimer's disease. Also affects the health conditions. Last on the top 5 is eating disorders. Eating disorders can become life-threatening if they are not treated. Remember, I talked about bulimia, I talked about anorexia, and I talked about binge eating. So I told you in details about the anorexia, the binge eating, and the bulimia. So out of those top 5, put a star next to dementia. Okay, Jackie. Okay, thank you. But Jackie, you can catch it on YouTube Live on Sador Radio if you want to go back and watch the replay. So put a star next to dementia. That one I'm going to get back to after I give you some more information. And because I want to talk about dementia, with dementia, I want to explain the causes, what happens to this individual, and what you can do as a family member or just a support person to help them. So their treatment team would include these individuals: your primary care, healthcare provider, a nurse practitioner, a physician's assistant, a psychiatrist or psychologist, which I am not, a psychotherapist. Okay, Jackie, a psychotherapist, a social worker, and the key here is family members. I gave you a list of mental illness disorders and gave you examples. If you know someone who has these disorders, you as the family member can help this person. You can help the person. Don't, like I know with some family members or friends, they make fun of people who have mental illnesses, and mental illnesses sometimes overlooked. People make fun of them. They're overlooked. And you have some people that are very good care providers or support providers for these people that have mental illnesses. What? You got something you want to say? You good? Okay. Let's talk about medications. We all know that medications have side effects. All medications that are not plant-based have side effects. If it's plant-based, there's hardly any side effects. So the best medication that a person can take for any of these mental illness conditions will depend on the condition of them and how their body responds to the medication. Just because a doctor, psychiatrist, psychologist, psychotherapist prescribes a medication for you does not mean that your body is going to respond well to that medication. Your body may reject that medication. That medication might not work. And we talked about medications that don't work and why they don't work. We talked about that. We talked about that in an earlier part. Now, the medications that will be prescribed are antidepressants. People suffer with depression. Anti-anxiety. I just said that.
No.
Anti-anxiety medications for people who suffer with anxiety.
And sometimes that don't work.
That's true. Mood stabilizer medications. These are people that are bipolar and suffer with depression. They have mood stabilizer medications. You want to say something to that?
That's a drink.
What's a drink?
Mood stabilizer.
You know what? I ain't got time for you. Not tonight, buddy. Antipsychotic medications, and these are it's used to treat people that has bipolar disorder with antidepressant and depressant medication. So they're getting two different types of medication for their condition.
Mm.
Hi, Diva. Oh, you're awake. Thank you for tuning in. Yay.
Yeah.
Yes. Next is psychotherapy. Now, you said I use a lot of medical terminology. All right, I'm gonna break psychotherapy down. It means talk therapy.
It's not so much as it's the words that you use, and a lot of them wouldn't understand. Some of the words I didn't understand.
But that's how come I explain myself, because I know there's some words I have to use medical terminology. But one thing I do is anytime I use medical terminology, I break the word down by the prefix, the suffix, and the root of the word. So people.
Whoa. What did you just say? You did what did what word?
I break the word down by the prefix, the suffix, and the root of the word, so people
The
can
prefix or suffix?
prefix and suffix and the root of the word, so that people have a clear
The
understanding.
terminology in like on the lower
It is.
level, what was that?
Okay, let's take for instance antidepressants.
Okay.
Okay, would you say that's a medical term?
Yeah.
Okay, let's break that word down.
Thank you.
All right, anti means against. Anytime you see the word, no, you asked for breakdown, so I'm gonna give it to you.
Okay, let's not go there.
No,
I know what
just-
anti means.
Okay, now
Can we move on
depressants.
with that?
We moving on.
Okay.
Depressants.
What?
Where you lost it?
The way I'm feeling now, depressed?
You stupid. Listen, antidepressant medication, anti mean against depression,
Right.
depressants. That means that this medication is for people who suffer with depression. The purpose of the medication is so that they don't be depressed.
The
As long
terminology
as they
of
take
depression is what
it's
how
not-
people feeling or what's hurting them or bothering them. That's depression. Or they just want to be left alone. Is that depression? The terminology of depression is what?
The terminology of depression is this: a person who has an emotional instability inside. Something in their life. Remember, I said any of these can be caused by family life, social life, traumatic event, or medical situation. And a person who suffers with depression, that's going to be environmental, which is their personal life, their social life. Something in their life caused them to suffer with depression that they feel sad all the goddamn time.
Well, I wouldn't say it because then it's called
wait a minute.
it's called a setback.
You call it a setback, but remember, I started this off with what is a mental illness.
Right.
I clearly said it.
Okay.
So if a person has been diagnosed
With depression.
according to the DSM-5, the DSM-10,
Who's
and
the
they-
DSM-5? Who's the DSM-10?
that's a manual that the mental health professionals and social workers use to diagnose individuals who suffer from a mental illness. Now, I'm gonna say this: when I went to Hahnemann and I was studying to be a microbiologist, I had to take that course and learn that book. The book is literally this thick with a whole bunch. No, the
Like 2 or 3
layperson
inches thick.
will never see this book unless you are in the mental health field. That's the only time you're going to see the book. If you're working with people who have some type of mental illness, mental disorder, or mental condition, those are the only people that's going to see the book. And those are the ones that give the diagnosis. If a person fits the criteria of a specific diagnosis, they're going to be diagnosed with that mental illness.
And what is the mental illness? Depression?
Depression is a type of mental illness.
Really?
Yeah, really it is.
When they prescribe a medicine for you to take for depression.
Yes,
Does it help or does it make it worse?
it relieves the symptoms. But like I said earlier, it depends on how the body responds to the medication.
Or that mental stability. How strong-minded are you? It's like depression is only for how long, or it
That
could be the
depends
rest of
on the
you.
person.
Exactly.
That depends on the person.
That's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
give you an
saying, but
example.
You sounded like it's a mental disease, but it's not.
I didn't say
it's
it was a
situation
disease.
that people
No.
get into.
No, I
That
didn't say,
hurts.
wait a minute. I didn't say that it was a disease. I said it was an illness.
Okay, a mental illness.
Thank you, because
Okay.
there's a difference between
Okay, a mental illness.
disease. It's a
But
mental
but
illness.
it's some people would consider it as a mental illness, feel like a setback. You have to. It's like life throws you many obstacles
Yes.
that will take you through a lot of shit. Excuse me, a lot of hell.
Right.
Okay, now in between that, That's mental?
I'm gonna say this. In that book,
That
there,
book,
wait a minute. I have to go back to that book because that's where all the diagnosis come from. This one book. As far as mental illness. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. I said if a person fits element A, B, C, D, E, they have to fit all the elements to be diagnosed with a specific mental illness. If one element is missing, they don't fit it, so they don't get diagnosed with it. You follow me?
no.
Where I lose you at?
At the beginning,
Are you serious?
A, B, C.
All
You're
right.
putting people in a category.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is, you see how you have this?
Yeah, you told me to do it.
No. Hold on. I'm gonna use my piece of paper.
Okay.
You see how I have this?
Mm-hmm.
And I have on here 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say, for instance, this is one of the pages in the book, okay? And it has different mental illnesses listed for 1 through 5. Underneath each specific mental illness is criteria. Those elements can be element A, B, C, D, E, whatever. If a person fits all those elements under this specific mental illness and they fit the category, they fit all the elements, they fit all the requirements, they fit all the criteria, they 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, they are going to get diagnosed with that specific mental illness. Hold on.
By a book.
By a professional.
By a who the professional?
Whoa.
Who?
Wait a minute.
Who is the professional that can diagnose what you think and feel?
No, it's not about what. Get off of what you think and
Okay,
feel.
it's mental.
No, wait. I know where you're going, but you can't do that. And I'm gonna tell you why you can't do that. Because I'm gonna ask you a question. And once I ask you this question, remember you opened Pandora's box with me. You kept at it with me. So I'm coming in.
About time. Damn,
right.
I've been waiting a long time. Come on, baby.
So
Here
I'm
we
gonna
go.
ask you this.
Come
Were
on.
you ever diagnosed with any mental illness that I mentioned?
Falsely, yes.
Why falsely? Why was you falsely diagnosed? And how did you know you was falsely diagnosed?
Because it was me.
Were you professionally diagnosed with a mental illness?
So-called, yes.
What's with the so-called? Was it by a professional? Was it by a doctor? Was it by a psychiatrist? Was it by a psychologist? Was it by
as far as now, let me see now. As far as you saying, was it by them?
Who diagnosed you?
Really, nobody could diagnose it.
Then what makes you think, you, Mr. C, what makes you think that you suffer with depression?
I don't suffer with it.
So what's your point? Why are we having this conversation?
I suffered with it, but it was a setback on my own self.
So you think
I put myself there.
Wait a minute. You think you had depression?
Yes.
That you suffer with depression?
I did.
So you self-diagnosed yourself?
Pretty much, yes.
Well, then that's all you had to say was, you know what, Miss C, I self-diagnosed myself with depression. However,
you wouldn't even let me
wait
finish.
a minute.
You keep saying, hold on, wait a minute. You won't even let me talk.
Oh, you talking, damn it.
Yeah, I know I am now.
But you self-diagnose yourself. That, I get what you're saying, but it's not medically.
Somebody on the outside looking in on you, don't nobody know how you really feel but you.
That's why you have something called psychotherapy.
Who's therapist?
No. Jesus help me. That's why. Psychotherapy
is you sitting there talking to somebody that's listening to you talk.
Right there.
Okay, are you listening to me?
Yeah, all the time. Every time we come on a radio station.
So am I psycho?
No, you missing it. Mr. C, come on.
But you psychoanalyzing me?
I'm not psychoanalyzing nothing. What I'm saying to you is this. Just listen. Right now, I need you to do 98% listening instead of 95.
So that's like, shut the hell up.
I need 98%.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you is you self-diagnose yourself with one of these illnesses because of a life situation, a life event that was traumatic in your life, even though for you it was temporary. Now I'm gonna ask you this. You self-diagnose yourself. Was there a support person to help you with your self-diagnosed depression? Was there a support person? Yes or no? That's the question, Mr. C. You don't want to answer me?
Oh, my 2% I can get in there?
Come on.
Yeah, there was somebody there. It was a support.
So you had a support person that helped you pull out of your depression. Mr. C,
Yes.
yes or no?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, now that's self-diagnosing. You did that to yourself. You self-diagnosed yourself, which is different for what I'm talking about. I get what you're saying, but in the medical profession, this is it. In the medical profession, this is it.
Okay.
You have a lot of people who suffer with a whole lot. And a lot of times they family members, their friends, their co-workers, their business associates, anybody that know them never know that these people are suffering with this on a daily basis.
Okay, then that's called misdiagnosis, isn't it?
No, no.
Really?
No. How you figure it's misdiagnosed because their family members don't know that they suffer with these illnesses. Misdiagnosed is when a healthcare provider, a licensed healthcare provider who is in a position to diagnose, prognose, does a misdiagnosis. Meaning they said that a person had this illness and it turned out to be something different. I'm gonna break it down for you even further. I know of a woman who has a special needs child. I know quite a few women who has a special needs child. Her child was diagnosed with ADHD, attention deficit hyper disorder, which means her attention span is short. Short. You look up, short.
Yeah, you go dancing.
I'm not dancing. I'm serious now.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, unfortunately, this baby, this angel, was misdiagnosed with ADHD. It wasn't until years later, when doctors was changed, this baby was misdiagnosed with ADHD, and in reality, she had autism.
Okay, that's called what?
I do know.
Misdiagnosis.
I use that as an example
Okay,
of
yeah, I understand
misdiagnosis.
that. Right.
No, it's not. I'm trying to explain something, Eric, because my thing is this: when it comes to topics like this, and anybody who's listening on air, or anybody who's sitting in front of me, or anybody who's in my live stream, I need to make sure they have a clear understanding of what it is I'm talking about. Yes, I am using medical terminology words. Yes, Mr. C is correct. Like a lot of people might not know what the words are, but each time I do break the words down. I don't want anybody to watch my live stream and say, well, damn, I have no idea what the hell Carol was talking about, because she didn't break down enough and she used all these big words, but she didn't give no examples and she didn't explain what she was doing. Me as an educator, this is what I do every single day. This is what I teach. Okay, so I need to make sure that anybody that I explain anything I do or talk about to, they have a clear understanding of what it is I'm talking about. Because my thing is this: if a person don't understand it, I'm going to give it to you until you freaking do understand it. And when you do tell me that you get it, I'm going to ask for it back to make sure that the person I'm talking to or explaining it to actually get it. That's what a true educator does. It's not a lot of noise. It's about educating a person about something they don't understand. And as an educator, and I'm talking about this topic, it is my responsibility to make sure that they have a clear understanding of what it is I'm talking about before they get up and leave me.
Musa.
I'm good.
Musa.
I'm good.
Musa.
I'm good. That's noise right there. Stop. Chill.
You chill.
No, I have to go
Okay,
there.
but the way
No,
you was doing
stop. Just stop. I have to go there so people have a clear understanding.
it. Okay.
He made a comment. I'm going to address it.
What was the comment?
The comment was, that's a lot of noise. And it's not. Because I need to explain it to the person I'm talking to. You have Sador Radio. You have people that is listening to the station. At the same time, I have people in my live stream. And I need them to understand exactly what it is I'm talking about, because if they get lost, it's on me to explain it. Like you just said, there was things I was talking about and words I was using, you didn't understand. I had to break it down to you. Make sense?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But then as in the meanwhile, slow down.
No, I went there because I had to.
Okay.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to move on.
Thank you.
Okay?
Mhm.
I'm not going back and forth with you. Next, I want to talk about brain stimulation treatments. Brain stimulation treatments are commonly done for people who suffer with depression. Brain stimulating treatments. Loving you, Eric. Okay. Loving you, dude.
Right.
He said, okay, you're doing a fine job. Eric Muhammad, everybody, is on Facebook. He says, okay, you're doing a fine job. However, you are working with a handicap, Mr. C. You the handicap because you don't know. Hi, Erica. Thanks for tuning in.
Was that I mean, I better not say nothing.
I don't have time because I'm moving on.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Eric.
Brain stimulation treatments, these people that receive this type of treatment is experimental. Have y'all ever, hi Erica, are y'all familiar with, and I know y'all seen them because I've seen them, you may have seen signs that said volunteers for an experimental drug, and we're going to pay you $5,000 if you go through the experiment. Well, here's the thing, you have to sign a waiver. If you participate in any medical study, you're going to be signing some type of waiver, because if something happened to you from the medication that you're given that's experimental medication, you cannot sue. Okay? Can't sue. I can't look at you right now. I'm not going to. Next is substance abuse treatment. These are people that have the addiction.
Drug addiction.
Or alcohol. Alcohol is considered an illness. Alcohol is also considered a disease. Medically, it's been classified as an illness and classified as a disease. You have some feelings about that?
Right.
What I just said. That is classified as a,
What, drinking?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Substance abuse treatment. People who have mental illness turn to drugs. People who have mental illness turn to alcohol. But it's going to interfere with any type of treatment, medication that you're taking. And the alcohol may have an adverse effect with the medication. You shouldn't be popping pills, meaning taking prescription medication or non-prescription medication and drinking alcohol with it. Those two simply don't mix anyway. and they both can lead to death depending on the strength of the medication and depending on the category and type of medication it is that you're drinking the alcohol with. So you shouldn't be drinking alcohol and mixing it with pills anyway. So I want to get into some self-care. Once I get into the self-care, I'm going to talk about coping and support. But it's this one that I want y'all to really bear with me with, and that's the one on dementia, because I want everybody to understand what causes dementia and what causes the person to be disoriented, to be confused. And depending on the testing that's done, if it's detected early enough, there is a natural treatment that you can do to help this person. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, lifestyle and remedies. I'm really passionate about the dementia and the Alzheimer's. If a person has a treatment plan, they need to stick with the treatment plan. And as all doctors will tell you, if we prescribe a medication, you need to take all the medication. If there's a refill, you need to go and get a refill and take all of that. But I'm going to say this, as legal as that may be, keep in mind of the side effects. Also, don't never be afraid to question any doctor, and you can do this because you have patient rights. Okay, thank you. Anytime a doctor prescribes you medication, you as the patient have the right to question that doctor. What is this medication for? Why am I taking it? What is it supposed to do?
How long?
What is the side effects? How long do I have to take the medication? As a patient of any doctor, you have that right to question what you are being given. It's too many people that doctor give them a script. They go straight to the pharmacy and get the script filled. Don't question the doctor. Don't even know what the side effects is. Don't even question the pharmacist. Don't even ask the pharmacist questions. You can do that and they're going to answer you. If you have a doctor that says, you know what, take the medication, don't worry about it, change doctors. It's just that simple. If a doctor can't take the time out to talk to you and explain to you why you're taking this medication, what is it for, how long do you have to take it, and what is the side effects, you need to change doctors. You need to change doctors. And I mean that. You have that right as a patient. It's called patient rights. And you can get your patient rights straight from your doctor. Only way you're going to get it, if they don't give it to you automatically, ask for it. They're bound, just like I am, by the HIPAA law. All that is in it. You got something you want to say, Mr. C?
Not yet.
Okay, moving right along.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid, this is self-care now. Avoid alcohol and drugs. Avoid, I can't stress that enough. If you suffer with mental illness and you want medication, avoid alcohol and drugs. Even if you are not on medication, whatever you've been diagnosed with, yes, Jackie, whatever you've been diagnosed with, you definitely don't need to turn to the bottle and drugs as a solution, because guess what? When you sober up, whatever's going on with you is still going to be there.
But
So
meanwhile, it's a temporary relief.
You know what? I can't. I can't with you.
It was.
All right, it's a temporary relief, but it's not solving
It's
anything.
never, okay, but
There's
still,
no
it's a
solution.
relief. It's like, damn, I forgot about it. I'm going to sleep.
Okay, and when you wake up,
It's
whatever,
still there.
it's still there. So what's the purpose?
Get another drink.
You know what? I'm moving right along.
Okay.
Stay
I'm just
active.
joking.
I know you are. Stay active. Stay mentally, physically active. Do something that's productive in your life. Do something that's productive in your life to keep you from thinking about whatever it is that you're thinking about, or something that's keeping you sad and depressed, and you having anxiety, or you having some anxiety or panic attacks. You must stay active. I don't know, go join a Planet Fitness, a LA Fitness, some type of gym, start doing line dancing, like me. Start doing line dancing, do Zumba, get your sexy back. There's a lot of things that you can be doing to stay active. Why are you looking at me like that when I say get your sexy back? It is what it is. Men do Zumba, men line dance. There is nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
That's one of the mental illnesses. That's when
Eric said it's about that money. They will try to keep you on the hook forever. Yes, Eric, you're right. Eric from Facebook says it's about that money. They will try to keep you on the hook forever. Eric, you're absolutely right. Because Big Pharma makes a lot of money from people
keeping you sick.
Well, yes. Big Pharma knows that medications have side effects. You know what? I'm going to share this about medications. The origin of all medications, except for synthetic medications, is plant-based, which means it was originated from a plant. Researchers, scientists go to the country of origin of where these plants are grown and harvested, bring it back to the plant, synthesize it into a pill form. That's why you have so many side effects, to include death. That's why. If you take a medication that is plant-based and is in its original form, there are no side effects. Big Pharma knows that, but it's all about money. Eric says, can you spell lobbyist? Yes, I can. Yes,
all right, then go ahead, spell it.
He did. It's L-O-B-B-Y-R-A-C.
Oh, he spelled it for you.
No, it's right.
Yeah, he spelled it. Can you spell lobbyist? Duh.
What's your point, Mr. C?
You spelled it already. It was on there.
Next is don't make important decisions when your symptoms are severe, because you may make a decision that you may regret.
Yeah, that's true.
Prioritize your lifestyle. Prioritize what you need to do on a daily basis. If you don't know how to prioritize, take what's important first. That will be number one, and go down the list. And by the time you get done down your list, whatever last is not so important. Learn to adopt a positive attitude. One way you can learn to adopt a positive attitude is read daily affirmations every day, or create your own daily affirmations every day. Those are some of the self-care remedies. I'm going to also add this as a self-care remedy. Go treat yourself to a spa day. Go to a day spa, go to some type of resort, get a massage. I'm gonna say get the massage. It costs less, and it actually has a lot of benefit. It reduces the tension. It also calms the nervous system. You have 12 human body systems. Your nervous system is the primary foundation of all the other systems, right along with the cardiovascular system. Your nervous system is your foundation human body system. You get a massage, at least, if you can't afford it weekly, Get it once a month or every other. This will help you with any type of mental illness you may have. I don't care what the freaking mental illness is. If you get, and there's different types of massages, if you get a therapeutic massage, it's going to help you with your mental illness. If you've been diagnosed and you have a script for a massage, that would be a medical massage. Now I want to get into dementia. How's my time? How much time I got?
It's 21:26.
Oh, you went military, 9:26. Okay, all right. He went military on me, everybody. You're listening to Let's Talk with Carolyn on Sadora Radio. If you have not already shared, please share. You want to do that by telling the person, go to Live and Direct Marketplace, download the app in your Play Store, click on Sadora Radio. That sounded so cute, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Right.
So, radio audience, I'm going to leave you with Baltimore Club music. Don't go anywhere, because when you come back, I want to give you a visual on one of the mental illnesses that's very important, and this particular illness affects everybody. I'm going to say this. One person in your family is going to end up with this at some point in their life. Hopefully they don't, but it happens all the time. It happens every day. So,
but it's not going to be everybody. You saying somebody in your family.
Somebody in their family.
The next clue, don't say some.
No, when I said everybody, I meant everybody's attention. I want y'all to tune in to what I'm going to be talking about next.
Okay.
Did I clarify that enough?
You just did.
Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And I'm Mr. C.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Facebook. Do y'all have any questions? That's all topical. It helps, but know thyself and study you. Yes. They have to get in connection with them, but they really should get the help that they need and have a support person as well. So who we have on here? We have Eric, Bruce, Jackie, Ray, Erica, Eric, Ricardo, Robert, Sister Diva, Abdul, thank you, Nigeria, Tyrone, Tara, Four Twinkle Cheeks, Ronald, thank you for tuning in, Isaiah, Boise, thank you, Nigeria, Awando Dorboss, thank you, Nigeria. I have my friends on here from Nigeria. If y'all have any questions, type them in. If you want to come in the live, let me know so I can add you and I'll bring you in on the live. I'm gonna let them do that, like maybe 9:45. No, right after I do the dementia, I will do that. They can call in and ask the question. I get like, where's the phone?
Oh, where's the phone? Over here.
Yeah. It's time for the percolator. 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 Jackie says, what's the best type of massage I can get just to relax? You want, I'm gonna zip tape on your lips. I'm gonna zip you up. Jackie, the best type of massage to get if you just want to relax is a Swedish massage. If you just want to relax, you want to get the type of massage you want to get is a Swedish massage. That is a relaxation massage or a lavender massage.
And for those of y'all that's on Facebook listening, you can also call 215-909-6070. You'll be on the air talking, so be straight or stay off the phone.
All right, we're back. Woo. We're back. You're listening to Let's Talk with Carolyn on Sadora Radio, the station that plays more than music. Okay, Jackie. So I want to talk about dementia. Dementia is the mental illness that I want to talk about, and I want to give you, I meant to bring my brain because I have a model brain that I wanted to show y'all for those that are on Facebook Live. I'm gonna do this. All right. I'm gonna use my head. You talk like I got a big head.
There's a lot of brain in there.
Hey, it's a lot of knowledge up here too.
Okay.
All right, so a person who has dementia, there's certain things that causes dementia. Alcohol is the #1 cause of dementia. And the reason why I'm on this is because there's a lot of people that drink. I suppose, I'm gonna say this, it's okay to drink. I guess it's the type of alcoholic beverage that you're drinking, the strength of it, the strength of the alcohol, how long you've been drinking, any type of alcoholic beverages. So anyway, you have a person who has dementia. Dementia is a brain illness disorder, which leads to Alzheimer's. What dementia does is it causes the person to be literally lose their mind, like their memory is gone. Depending on where they're at in dementia, they may not be able to remember what happened 5 minutes earlier, but they can remember something that happened 15, 20 years ago or a decade ago. Alcohol, all right, let's say this is the brain, okay? We're going to use this, and we're going to say this right here is a person's brain. This right here is, we're going to say that this bottle represents plaque, okay? When a person drinks, and this is over time, what I'm about to tell y'all, don't think, oh, if I drink alcohol, I'm going to get dementia. No, that's not it. People who have been diagnosed with dementia, one of the #3 reasons is alcoholic beverages. Other than the aging process. The aging process, I'm not going to count that because we all have to go through the aging process. But when there's external environments, such as alcoholic beverages, that is preventive because the person don't have to drink. So you have your brain here. Person is constantly drinking alcoholic beverages all the freaking time. Every time you turn around, they got a drink in their hand. And what they're drinking is strong. Over time, plaque builds up on the brain. Keep in mind that you have your nerve endings all throughout your body. So because over time, you have plaque builds up on the brain that's interfering with the nerve endings that's in your brain. If there's interference with the nerve endings in the brain, there's going to be confusion because it's covered with plaque. Plaque is literally causing a person to lose their mind, be confused, not remember, short-term memory gone. And when you see your family member or your loved one go from being cognitive, just like you are, and over the years, you notice they're being forgetful. They're not remembering some things. And then they're not remembering a whole lot of things. And eventually, over some more time, they're not remembering you, your name, who you are. People who have been diagnosed with dementia, this is what happens in the doctor's office for the dementia test. A doctor is going to tell a person, going to get some simple things to do. And it's all about, that test is all about following instructions. That Alzheimer's dementia test is all about following instructions. And what the doctor may say is, he'll give a piece of paper to a person and say, I want you to draw a clock all the way around, draw the circle, draw the clock, put the numbers in the clock, and I want you to map out 3 o'clock. Simple instructions, right? Okay, the person can draw the clock. They'll draw the clock. They'll even put the numbers on the clock, but they can't get the big arrow with the 12 and the little arrow with the 3. They'll do it just the opposite. Another set of instructions the doctor may give. He may say, okay, I want you to tell me, and he'll show some different colors. Tell me which color it is, but I want you to draw a circle every time you see this color. A matter of just following simple directions. A dementia person might not be able to do that because they can't. They can't remember because they have plaque that causes confusion on their brain. They do. Now, I also mentioned that there is a natural remedy that you can help a person with, whether it's your friend, your coworker, your loved one, whoever. You can help them. There's a difference. When I tell you this, don't go to the Muslim brother talking about, I want some frankincense. No, not that kind of frankincense. You want frankincense essential oil, not frankincense fragrance oil, not frankincense body oil. You want the all natural fragrant, the all natural frankincense essential oil, which means this oil came directly from the plant. Okay, straight from out of Oman. Now, what you do with that oil is this, and I'm gonna tell you why. Number one reason why is because frankincense essential oil has the, and it's been scientific documented, can cross the BBB. BBB is the blood-brain barrier, which means that if a person applies the essential oil to the back of the head along the brainstem, if you feel in the back of your head and you feel that bump in the back of your head, your little noggin, that's where you want to start and go all the way down till you feel an indentation. The frankincense essential oil has the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier, which helps diminishes the plaque. It reduces. Why do they freaking do this? Going into my live stream, calling me. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. We're back at this again. All right. Has the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier, which will reduce the process of dementia. It slows it down, depending on when it was detected that this person was diagnosed with dementia. I can't say that it will work for Alzheimer's because a person will have dementia first. Dementia can progress on to Alzheimer's disease. I hope you are following me with this. No, Eric. No. You're right, Eric. You're right. You're absolutely right. So that's what I mean when I say it helps reduce the process of dementia with pure frankincense essential oil. It has to be 99.9% pure frankincense essential oil, depending on the time that your person, your loved one, was diagnosed with dementia. Okay? If y'all have any questions, type them in. If you want me to answer some questions, call in at 215-909-6070. How much time do I have, Mr. C? Mr. C, how much time do I have?
Oh, you're doing good.
What time is it, please?
21:45.
21:45. All right, 9:45. Okay. So we're taking phone calls, comments at 215-909-6070. Call in and you can ask your questions. If there was a mental illness that you have questions on, call me if you're in Radio Land, or type it in if you're in Facebook Land. If you're in YouTube and you're watching us live, call in on 215-909-6070 if you're watching this live on YouTube, or if you're on Sador Radio, or you're on Facebook, you can just type it in. Yeah, Facebook people can call 215-909-6070. Now, until someone calls, you have anything that you want to say about the mental illness topic that I covered tonight? No. Do you have any questions that you want to ask me? Any comments you would like to comment on?
No.
You good?
For right now, yeah.
Do I need to go over anything that you might not didn't understand? I'm just asking.
No.
So you good?
For right now, yeah.
Okay. So I want to talk about an event that is coming up. This event is June the 28th from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. It is an event, it's a meditation, and it's a meditation.
Relaxation.
It is meditation and relaxation, but it's the type of relaxation I'm trying to get to.
Oh.
It's one of those.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Swinger thing?
Huh?
What, the swinger thing?
No, no, oh no, oh hell no,
Okay.
no. Ain't got nothing to do with swingers. No, this is
Meditation, relaxation.
it's meditation. It's a meditation and relaxation event, and they're going to have some infused cannabis at this event.
Oh, okay.
So that event, as I get more details,
52nd Street.
yeah,
Oh, right.
no, Overbrook. As I get more details on this event, I will share it with Facebook Land, YouTube Land, and Sador Radio Land. But that event is scheduled for June 28th at
26th or 28th.
28th at 12 p.m. And it is a relaxation and meditation event with infused cannabis. I don't know no other way to say it. It's infused. And they're going to have food,
Cannabis.
sandwiches.
Cannabis.
No, they're not smoking. They're not smoking nothing there.
Oh, kids and all.
No, that's not why. They're not doing no smoking there. They're not doing that. It's about meditation.
And relaxation.
Like, yeah, because some people don't know how to meditate. So it's an event on a person learning how to meditate and find peace within themselves. Any way you want to do it, but when you meditate, you gotta zone out and erase everything, because this right here has everything in it. Stuff from your job, stuff from your family, stuff from your friends, stuff from your co-workers, stuff from your business associates, stuff from influencers that you're trying to connect with, stuff from what you done watched on YouTube, stuff from what you done watched on TV. This right here has a whole lot of stuff. And in order, okay, yes, I did.
You did what?
No, Eric said that he got disconnected on Facebook and that. So because there's so much stuff going on up in here, when you meditate, you have to take all that stuff and move it out. Get it out for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or 60 minutes, because everybody needs that peace, that mental peace of time. Everybody needs to have it. So that's what this event is about, teaching people how to meditate and finding themselves mentally so that they can have peace of mind and reduce their stress. People carry around a lot of stress in their activities of daily living, in their ADLs, activities of daily living. How much is my time? What's my time?
21:10.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's 10 after 9.
No.
What would you
I'm
say?
sorry, 21:50.
All right. What do you have to say? Because we only got 10 minutes.
Go ahead.
You don't have nothing to say. You just quiet tonight. Okay.
It's not so much that I'm quiet, but you shut me down.
How did I shut you down, Mr. C?
Wait a minute.
Because I know where you was going, and I needed, Mr. C. I know where you was. I know where you was going.
Were you mind reading me?
No, but I knew where you was going, because you was this is what you said. You said, how can someone diagnose you based on, well, not you per se, but how can any doctor diagnose someone based on their emotions and how they was feeling? That's what you said, right? Did you say that or not?
I said a book.
Wait a minute. But keep in mind, I also said, hold on. This book is called Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. That's the name of the manual. There is, for every mental illness that's there in this book, it has certain specific criteria that must be met in order for someone to be diagnosed with that mental illness.
I'm looking at it like, don't nobody know anybody and what they're going through and what they feel deep down inside them until it comes out.
This is
So how you diagnosing somebody that they don't really let you know until they want you to know. And that's when it becomes more than they can handle.
which
they seeking
which
help.
means right, which means it goes back to what I said. When it interferes with the ability to function, I started with that in the beginning. When it interferes with a person's ability to function, whether it's mentally, emotionally, or physically, ability to function is when they get diagnosed, when it interferes with their lifestyle. And if it's bad enough, these people go and they seek help.
Exactly, man. Who would know better than them?
Okay, but can they treat themselves? Can a person that has a mental illness, all mental illnesses is serious. Can a person who have a mental illness really treat themselves? They can get themselves self-care. They can get themselves home remedies. But can they really treat themselves unless they have access to an all natural, or what we call holistic care regimen? Other than that, it's going to be Western medicine.
Which is killing you.
Western medicine has the side effects. Can you do that now? Yeah, yeah,
What's that?
uh-huh. So
Do what now?
can you do that now? Yeah.
Do what?
She says somebody needs to shut him down. How about you?
No problem.
If you don't turn it on, turn it on. Thank you. Oh, you're so kind.
Shut me down.
No, I didn't shut you down. It's just that I understand what you're
Somebody
saying.
said you need to shut me
Listen,
down.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm telling you how it's done in the medical profession.
Okay.
You saying how can a book diagnose? How can someone be diagnosed from a book? But that's just the way it is. I gave you the name of the book. I clearly told you what the book was. Meditation, yeah. If you know how to meditate alone or with guided meditation, you can definitely do that. But I will be giving more information on that event. Yes, Mr. C. No. All right, you just mum's the word right now.
Shut down.
No, I ain't shut you down, and I don't want you to feel like I shut you down either. It's just that I'm very passionate about this type. Passionate. I'm very passionate. I'm tongue-tied. I'm very passionate about this topic. Coping and support. Learn about your mental illness. If you are a support person, learn about that person's mental illness. One way that you can learn about that person's mental illness is go to their doctor's appointment with them. If you're the support person, go to their doctor's appointment with them, ask questions from the doctor, find out from the doctor how you can help. Join a support group of like-minded individuals who have the same mental illness as you or a person that you know that has. The mind
Doctors-
says you need that, huh?
Doctors will give you a certain amount of information,
Right,
and you can't go in the office you can't go in that room with, it's supposed to be doctor and patient
Right.
confidentiality. You can't go in that room with them. They only gonna come out and tell you what, or you ask the doctor's questions, they only
if
gonna tell
if a person says, this person, people with mental illnesses, they're gonna have somebody going to the doctor with them. And that caregiver or that support person is allowed in the room with them.
you. I didn't know that,
Yeah.
because most doctors would say it's a private, it's like they talking just to their patient.
No,
And they
if
don't want you in.
there's a way to circumvent that. If that's the case, all that person has to do is sign a record of release. Once they sign a medical record of release that says this person, my support person, my caregiver, can be in the room with me as I'm talking to my doctor. Once that mental health patient sign that, that doctor have to let that person in there.
Okay.
That's part of patient rights. That's part of patient rights.
Okay.
Okay. Next
I thought it
is,
was doctor-patient confidentiality.
I get what you're
Yeah.
saying, doctor-patient confidentiality. It is doctor-patient confidentiality. However, if this is just not for mental illness, this is for anything. If I wanted someone to go to my doctor's appointment with me and I sign off on that release form that this caregiver or my support person I want in the room with me, they can be in the room with me because I signed a release form. Okay. Stay connected. This is still coping and support. Stay connected with family and friends. If you are a family member or you are a friend, stay connected with the person that's going through the mental illness. Please don't brush them off because they're going through a lot. Try to support them as much as you can within your ability to support them. And lastly, if this is you and you know you have this mental illness, keep a journal. Because when you keep a journal and you're on a pathway to recovery, you're on a mission to get better. You want to keep a journal of your daily feelings, daily activities, whether you were sad, whether you was happy, what made you sad, what made you happy, what happened in your life that day. And as you keep that journal and things start to get better, you can see your progress. You can see where you were and where you progressed to and got better. You agree or disagree, Mr. C?
I agree.
You agree. Do you have anything else that you want to add as far as coping and support of a person who has a mental illness or mental illness disorder or addiction?
As far as support is concerned, I think it would come basically through family, close loved ones, as far as support is concerned.
Okay.
And getting the right treatment, I don't know about that one.
As far as the medications that I went over?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you got, I mean, I understand, the medications of Big Pharma or whatever, but you got a lot of these medications that they prescribing for you, but they also killing you. Or they make things even worse. And then they turn to what? Heroin, coke, or drinking or whatever.
Okay.
The cure is worse than the illness.
I agree with you on the Western allopathic medicine part. When you hear me say allopathic, I'm gonna break it down for you. When you hear me say allopathic, I'm talking about Western medication, American medication, big pharma, pharmaceutical companies. All that is allopathic medicine. However, people who are into holistic care, meaning complementary alternative medicine, and there's a lot of regimens out there.
What is holistic care? Like herbal medicines?
Yes.
Okay.
like the essential oil that I gave
Mhm.
for a person that has dementia to help slow down the dementia process, that is a holistic care regimen. That's called complementary alternative medicine.
Does it work?
Yes, it does.
You got proof of
But
that?
like, yes, I do.
Okay.
But like I said, it depends on when this person is diagnosed with dementia. Is it in the early stages or is it in the late stages? It depends.
If it's in the late stages, what? It's too late.
Yes
Help
or
is,
no?
help is like gonna be in vain.
I'm gonna say if it's reached the Alzheimer's stage, the Alzheimer's disease, it's late. It is late.
So that means nothing you can do about it.
But support that person and be there for that person. Go to the doctor's appointments, go to the support group meetings with them. Because once it reached the Alzheimer's disease stage, their mind is gone.
So you just fade away,
You're watching a loved one
fade away.
mentally fade away in so many ways that is harsh, that nobody should ever go through that type of illness or progression, because it literally takes their physical being away. The disease is horrible.
Yes, and then okay, then you got a lot of people out here that are dealing with that.
You have
And imagine the stress factor they're going through trying to deal with somebody with dementia.
that's why in my field we have a day that we give back to the caregivers to support people, because they're going through that disease just as well as the person who actually have the mental illness, who actually have the dementia, who actually have the Alzheimer's disease. They're going through a lot. They don't have a life because some dementia people, individuals, Alzheimer's people, individuals,
Need around clock
they
care.
need 24-hour care. And a lot of times, I'm gonna say a lot of times, depending on the race of the person, with some races, when they family members get diagnosed with dementia and it progresses on to Alzheimer's, what do? They stick them in a home
Mhm.
so they don't have to deal with them. And that's wrong. It's worse than cancer, Carolyn. Yes, Jackie, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about dementia and Alzheimer's. But that's the best thing that we can do for our loved ones, our friends, our co-workers, whoever we know that has dementia and Alzheimer's. Now, you said a lot of people live with it. Yes, a lot of people do, but they have support people there because they need that 24-hour, 24/7, 24-hour care, because they become walkers. People that have Alzheimer's, we call them walkers. They go through something called sundowning. When they start sundowning, you need to keep an eye on them because they'll walk off and not know where they're going, or they think they're going one place and they can't get there. They can't.
And they don't know where their way back.
And they don't know their way back. But if it's in a tight-knit community where the neighbors know each other, that person going to be found. One of my colleagues takes care of her mom. She has full-blown Alzheimer's and she goes through sundown. They have a lock, one of those key locks
Mhm.
that you need a key to get in and a key to get out.
Mhm.
They had to put one of those locks on all the doors because a couple times she got out. She walked out, didn't know where she was going, and they had to go find her. By the blessings of a neighbor, they found her and brought her back home. Alzheimer's is is an awful disease, and it affects one in every family. Starts off with dementia, and if it's caught in time where it could slow down from becoming Alzheimer's disease because it's a progression stage. Yeah,
Which is worse, dementia or Alzheimer's? Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Yeah, because dementia is like the precursor to Alzheimer's disease. Dementia is a mental illness classified
That progresses.
that progresses into the actual disease where they are full-blown Alzheimer's. Full-blown. Dementia, they still have some memory. They still have some memory, but it does progress. Gaylord says people that have this problem that you are talking about is called dementia. It comes from eating swine, and many of them have it because the swine one begins. What is he talking about?
I don't know, because no, that's not true.
Okay, don't wait a minute. What is he talking about? When it begins to eat at the brain, it causes you and others to forget rapidly. And when it begins to eat months of the brain, play eggs, and sentence parts of the brain, causing it to become soul. And I have to read this, but I'm gonna respond to this. Soul and wear it because yet the person don't remember what is going on, but they are always rubbing their head. The reason they're rubbing their head is trying to find out what is eating inside of them, that the interest is in what is going on around them, so they forget where they are at. Dementia eating. No, you are wrong. Sorry, you're wrong. I don't know where you got that from, but it doesn't come from eating swine. What makes you think that eating pork is going to affect or cause plaque to be on the brain, and dementia is a mental illness that affects the brain? So I don't know where you get this from, but I really disagree with you on this. Really disagree. How am I doing with time?
You're done.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
So I like to wrap this up and like to say this. You have been listening to the hot topic for tonight is mental illness. Let's recap, y'all. I went through, I'm gonna say 15 to 20 different types of mental illnesses. I gave you 6 categories. Hopefully you took part or participated in the activity I gave you as I was going through the list. I gave you the 5 most common mental illnesses. I focused on one, which is dementia. And the reason why I focused on that is because there's somebody in every family where this horrible disease is going to affect somebody in your family. And dementia is the precursor to Alzheimer's. I also gave you a holistic regimen when I talked about the frankincense essential oil. Thank you, Jackie. Jackie says the comment that I read was all BS. Yeah, it is. I also talked about coping and support. And keep this in mind, if you are not the person that is suffering with this mental illness, then consider this. Become that person's support person. Become that person's support person. If you don't want to do that, just check on them and make sure that they are all right. If they don't have any type of support person, then you be the bigger person and step in and get that person the medical help that they need, and not just brush them off and say, oh, they're just crazy. Well, hell, we all got a little bit of crazy in us. Some crazy is worse than others. In this case, the mental illnesses is the part that may be worse than others. We just say, yeah, whatever, a little crazy. And that's how people talk about people, but that's not the right way, especially when these people are living with this condition every single day. It is a struggle for them to deal with their everyday life because of their mental illness. And as far as your medications are concerned, I must agree with you on the medications. The medications, like I said earlier, the medications do carry a lot of side effects. And I explained why the medications have a whole lot of side effects that goes with it. Yay, yay, everybody. Yay. You're listening to Let's Talk with Carolyn on Sador Radio, the station that plays more than just music. You have something to say, Mr. C?
No.
You don't have nothing to say? Why not?
Thank you for tuning in.
I want to.
On Sador Radio, talking with Carolyn and Mr. C. Join us every Monday from 8 to 10.
Every Monday.
I don't even know sometimes what the topic's going to be.
Don't say that.
Okay.
Don't say that. Why you want to talk? Why you want to tell our audience that?
Because sometimes I don't.
Oh, this is what I'm looking for. All right, we are on every Monday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So tune in. Now I'm going to give you, what's tomorrow, Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Every second and fourth Tuesday is Keeping It Real with Shell. She comes on 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Also, every second and fourth Tuesday, Hands Off with Yvette Murphy is on 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And her topic is on child molestation. Also, every second and fourth Tuesday from 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. is In the Mix radio show with Dove and RJ. These are the two young men that are rappers of the Sador radio station. They have a very good show, very topic. Please tune in to Sador Radio if you can. Tune in all day long, 24/7, because we are literally on the radio 24 hours a day. No, I just gave Tuesday because that's tomorrow. Okay, Mr. C wants me to do this. Thank you, Erica. Mr. C, every second and fourth Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. is Real Talk 2 with Tracy and Steve. Every second and fourth Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. is the Diva Show. Every second and fourth Friday from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. is DJ Manny Strong putting in the music for us. That's our in-house DJ for Sador Radio. Every second and fourth Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. is Be Mindful with Simply D and Enjoy. That is our team on Sador Radio. Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Check us out. We're here every Monday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. If you have any questions about this topic that I covered tonight, you can reach me to ask me your questions. Reach me at 267-864-8639. Good night, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. Facebook. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Four Twinkles. Thank you, Gaylord. Thank you, Marlo. Thank you, Willie. Thank you, Levine. Thank you, Endurance. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Diva. Thank you, Abdul. Thank you, Tyrone. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Fillmore. Thank you, Ronald. Thank you, Four Twinkles Cheeks. Thank you, Boyzik. Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you, Owan. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Fillmore. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I will see y'all on my next live stream. Take care. God bless. Stay blessed up, everybody. Bye-bye.
Down,
You off now? Facebook still on?
No, let me shut the encoder off.
You gotta turn the recorder off.
I did.
No, on this one.
Oh, hit the stop button. Okay, let me get up. Cause you still got me recording. Cause I was live. No, let's see.